Seemingly out of nowhere, No Man's Sky released its first update. They're calling Foundation Update 1.1. Get it? Because it's like laying the foundation for all the other updates, you know? Man. It's a major update, adding a ton of big and small fixes and some gameplay elements that some people were expecting to see when they first bought the game. But is it too late? Will people still care? Is this update gonna bring disgruntled fans back into a dead game? First, we must go over why No Man's Sky was abandoned by users. It didn't bomb necessarily, it actually sold very well at launch. It wasn't until shortly after launch when people started to realize that this wasn't the game that they were expecting, and people started to pull out and lose interest. And once the reviews started rolling in, warning people that No Man's Sky didn't deliver on everything that it promised, it turned off a lot of late buyers. But even though there's a laundry list of things from the previews and trailers that didn't make it into the final game, a large majority of what turned players away was that they got the wrong idea of the game in the first place. Allow me to be very clear. I believe that a large portion of this laundry list of false promises is complete bullshit. Some things, like being able to see other players if you come across them, is a bold-faced lie. And Sean Murray should have known better. He should have known that people were going to want to do that. What about something like faction affiliations with significance? You do have a reputation with certain factions in the game. So this totally depends on whether or not you think it holds a significant role in the game. This is an opinion and not a fact and should not be on the list. But anyway, people stopped playing No Man's Sky because they were expecting a different game. You might remember my video back in April titled, "Will No Man's Sky Suck?" where I nailed it right on the head. Seeing the vague marketing for the game, potential buyers will form their own opinions of what they think the game will be like. And if they're wrong, they'll be disappointed, thus thinking that the game sucks. That being said, this is not a multiplayer game. Everybody's playing in the same universe, so this is a shared universe game, but that universe is so huge that you're probably never going to run into anybody. There will most likely not be a way to warp to another player's position, and you can forget about trying to get there on your own. You've got the vastness of space between the two of you. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, with sources, of course. But base building was never a promise for No Man's Sky. It is something, however, that a lot of people just assume they were going to get when they play this game. Foundation Update 1.1 adds base building, camps, and freighters. This isn't something that they promised and decided to add in to save face. These are completely new features that they decided to add in to A, prolong the playability past the endgame, and B, live up to the expectations that were set forth by fans before the game was even released. They also added game modes, similar to Minecraft. There's normal mode, which is what we've been playing this whole time. Creative mode, which provides unlimited health, resources, and 0 building costs. And survival mode, which decreases resources and increases hazards. This will certainly keep users playing for longer, but I doubt that users will have the same sort of creative freedom as they do in Minecraft. So that might limit the playability. I believe that base building is enough to pique people's interest again. I think that a small surge of players will definitely jump back in. If Hello Games can successfully change the way that people play No Man's Sky, they may be able to rebuild their community. I often talk on this channel about Rainbow Six Siege and its fascinating history of bombing at launch and then coming back even stronger with a bigger community over time. It's not impossible for No Man's Sky to come back, shift focus, and give players what they want. But will players listen? In the case of No Man's Sky, these players were actually lied to. There's no trust there anymore. We have to wait for some brave souls to dive into this update and report back. Who knows, maybe they'll really enjoy it and spend countless hours crafting and building. There are other important updates too, like a quick inventory system, new resources, new ways to continuously farm resources, and tons of graphical tweaking. While these are nice additions, these alone aren't going to draw people back in. Base building, that's where it's at. At first, it might only entice players who have already completed the game. Those are the players that enjoyed No Man's Sky the most and need a reason to jump back in and keep playing. There isn't much to do after the endgame besides just exploring other planets. For us folk who didn't beat the game and just kind of lost interest, We'll have to wait and see just how good this update really is. I'm certainly interested, but with all these other games out right now, when the hell am I going to jump back into No Man's Sky? Is it even still on my hard drive? Keep in mind that this is the first of supposedly many updates, and I would take that information with a grain of salt, especially if you felt duped by Hello Games before. After all, if the update doesn't end up drawing the player base back, how many more updates can we expect? How much longer could the lights stay on? What do you guys think about this update that popped up out of nowhere for No Man's Sky? Is it enough to bring you back? Do you want to keep playing it? Is this what you wanted in an update? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter. All of this other social media garbage. New videos every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday nights is Wulff Den Live. Be there for our live podcast where we talk about stuff like this. And it's interactive. You can talk back and forth and stuff. And this is your last chance to get this Wulff Den shirt. You have like 2 days after this upload goes up. So get on that. And of course, the most important things that you can do is subscribe and share this video with a friend who was into No Man's Sky, but then got super duped. Also, stay tuned here, because there is a big update coming, either this weekend or the beginning of next week. Thank you guys very much, and have a good week.